I'm a you up.
And I'm leaving that because you shouldn't be talking to me like that.
Oh, we live?
We live, baby, and I'm leaving that.
Don't leave that.
Watch me leave it. Watch me leave it.
The person that always be like, please silence your phone before we start, always have the distractions.
I don't never say that, though. I never say that to you. I never say, please silence your phone.
You don't say it that way, but you be like, is your phone on silent?
That's your job. You always say, are you on that?
Welcome back to another episode of Insert Subject here.
Yeah.
I am the right one.
And I am the left one.
The wrong one.
Broccoli.
And thanks for stopping by with us today. Now, housekeeping.
The house of the keeping.
Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the page, turn the notification bell on,
Turn your notifications on.
and keep the comments and conversation going in the section below. We really love to interact with you.
Yes, we do, y'all. We like y'all.
So if you saw our last video, we stayed in a glamping dome. And again, I always get Anthony into some situations. So what I did for Anthony for Father's Day is we did a road trip. Now, first of all, Anthony absolutely despises road trips.
From the bottom of my heart, I do.
Maybe about 8-9 years ago, I decided we should take this road trip down to Florida. And at the time, I had a minivan, and it had TV in there, and we had TVs on the headrests, and I was like, we could drive all the way down to Florida. And it sounded great in my mind when we were going, but I think that was the beginning of the end for road tripping. So
It was. You don't think that's exactly what it was.
So this time I surprised him with 4 different and unique Airbnbs. And the first one, if you watched last week's video, was the glamping dome.
Glamping.
We'll show you 2 of the other ones because the 4th one was a whole catfish.
Man, listen here. I didn't get angry, guys. You would be proud of me. But I was just a bit confused as to what I was staying in. I'm not even going to lie to you. I ain't going to hold you.
Fun fact, we stayed, the Bread Barn was, and that was a couple episodes ago, for Valentine's Day we stayed at the Bread Barn, which was a guest house. So this one was billed as a guest house. However, it was a basement.
Yeah, it was somebody's, like the door to the basement came down into the guest suite that we were staying in.
And so all night we listened to their little Timmy run back and forth.
Timmy Turner.
With the dog. And then he was up and at him the next morning.
Fam, 7 o'clock in the
7
morning,
o'clock.
you heard him beating feet above our head.
So Airbnb people, if you follow, and I showed Anthony the place that we were staying in and how they build it. And let me tell you, I thought Photoshop and makeup was the mark of the devil, but ooh, baby, angles have climbed to number 1 because they put some angles on these photos.
They did, and they had some photos of the stairway leading to the guest suite. But when you get there, the stairway leads to the backyard.
That is correct.
Yeah.
And then the lady was in her, she pulled up while we were arriving, didn't speak to us.
No.
Nothing.
Cat, dog, mouse, boo, nothing. Just.
But I had the nerve to send me an email like, hey, I'm a new Airbnb. Can you rate me? Ma'am. And I still to this day have not rated her because I'm trying to figure out exactly how I'm going to word this.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
I said be honest. I didn't say tell a lie or make or tank her, but be honest with people so they can know what they're getting into. Because the 13 reviews she had, I'm gonna go on a limb and say it was probably family.
It was. And one person called it what it was. They called it a guest suite.
Guest suite, yeah.
I still wouldn't even consider it a guest suite.
It was the basement.
So since we missed posting because we did the Airbnb, a lot has happened.
A lot has taken place.
Oh, so let's jump right into, we got a special. We had 2 verses. Because, sometimes I hop up out the bed and then I turn my swag on. I take a look in the mirror. I say, what's up?
I'm going to be honest with y'all. That was a versus that didn't quite hold my attention.
It did not.
I mean, it was entertainment. I guess it wasn't for my demographic because it was Soulja Boy played the same song
like
4 times.
4 times.
Like, and it was, and I get it. Like, he was trolling us. I get it. But it wasn't for me. And I didn't know any of the Bow Wow hits. So it was bad for me.
Another shorty like my
I didn't hear that
baby,
play.
yes,
I think I checked out when I didn't make it to the end of the verses. I'm going to be honest with y'all.
Yeah, no. I was in and out. I saw Romeo came out. I saw
it was a lot going
Mario
on.
and came out. To me, Soulja Boy is really he's just viral now. Like I love Dre.
Yep.
Like that is
Yep.
Soulja Boy to me now. And Bow
And
Wow
it's not the music.
is lottery ticket. Like that's about all I got.
Roll bounce. Give him roll bounce.
I'll give him roll bounce. But he's like, Byron. Like that's Bow Wow to me. He's Shad Moss.
Shad Moss. Yes.
Okay, so
it wasn't what Versus has become to be known for me. So it wasn't a celebration of music. It was a celebration of moments and
it was just a
controversial
time filler,
moments.
It seemed like nobody else said, "Yeah, we'll do it." So they was just like, "All right, who's on the list?" Wait. I wanna love you. Like that's all. That's what we're reduced to at this juncture.
Come on. So listen, since you pushed us there, I didn't watch all of the Keith Sweat and Bobby Brown either.
Me either.
I will say when I was watching the beginning, and I was just like, I don't know if I'll make it to the end of this.
It was a no for me. When I even saw it, I was like, now if you had said like put them all together, or if you would have said I want to put New Edition,
and I thought New Edition was going to come out.
I thought so too.
They didn't. They didn't show up. I thought LSG was going to come out because that would have been the drama. Because what's his name? What's the guy? Keith Sweat got into a group with Levert and Johnny Gill.
Right.
Johnny Gill was also in New Edition.
Right.
That would have been the conflict I needed for a versus, and they didn't do that.
Yeah.
They let Bobby out there without his asthma pump.
And he was trying to do them moves, but it gave me nights like this, I wish vibes. Because them raindrops was falling. I'm sorry, Bobby. I love you, Bobby. But it was a no for me.
So Versus has gotten to a weird place now that it's been bought by Triller. Like I think it's just anybody can go on Versus now, and I do think Swiss and Tim curated it perfectly to get it sold, and now they're just like, all right, it's sold.
Yep, here you go.
Y'all take this product. Speaking of take this product, Bill Cosby's conviction was overturned.
Yes, and so much to dive into with this one.
It is.
So I did a little research because I was trying to figure things out, and sometimes I'm just not the sharpest nail in the drawer. But
no, don't say that.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't understand what was going on. So if you knew what was going on, hit that comment section with what you knew. Now I am not a lawyer.
Neither am I. I've realized that's a disclaimer we have to give.
Yes, but so basically his process rights were violated because his deposition in a civil case was used against him in trial.
Ah.
Yeah, see? And the more
that
you
adds
read,
a little
the
more
more you
to
know.
it. So I knew it was a violation that he couldn't be convicted criminally for however he settled civilly. However, the fact that the civil lawsuit came before the criminal lawsuit is always an issue for me.
That is correct.
Not victim shaming. With everything you do, you gotta preface what you're saying and what you're doing. I'm not saying that victims of actual sexual assaults should be ashamed of coming forward. What I am saying is that there are also people who aren't victims.
That is correct.
That come forward for monetary gain.
That is correct.
That's just me.
And then y'all trying to double dip.
Yeah, it's a weird thing because I don't feel like. I feel like if you feel a way about an act, so if I pay someone to have intercourse with me and they take the money, then they come back later and say they did this against their will, I feel, again, not victim shaming, just my feelings. Don't hang me. I feel like anything you gained from that act that you did against your will, you should forfeit.
I agree with that.
I feel like there should be no civil lawsuit because the civil can't return anything criminal. Sorry. So, it's just a stance I have. I feel like you should. I think somebody else said that about Felicia Rashad. Like, if y'all want to fire Felicia Rashad, y'all should get back all the money bill for Howard. Y'all should get back all the money bill donated to Howard. I agree with stuff like that.
I agree.
Like, if you cut ties with me, completely cut ties with me. Close the books.
So, speaking of Felicia Rashad.
Uh-oh.
We do. Cancel culture pulled up again. And so Felicia Rashad tweeted, "Finally, a terrible wrong is being righted. A miscarriage of justice is being corrected." Now, cancel culture pounced on that.
They did.
She did not say he was innocent. All she said was...
She ain't say he ain't do it.
Right. She just said, a wrong has been righted. And y'all just... Now, I would like to know, how can I get on the cancel culture committee?
Facts.
Specifically,
Facts.
I want to get on the voting room. Because I want to be in the room where it happens, the room where it happens. Because I have a few things I'd like to put on the table. Like, why isn't white supremacists canceled yet? Can somebody answer that for me? Why?
Said that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I got a few more. Can somebody explain to me why Trump's Bush branding behind is still not canceled? And he said, I like to grab him by the...
Yeah, on tape.
And sweet little Claire Lehman, who went after Sha'Carri as well as Flojo about their steroid use. Why isn't she canceled?
Because her hair and her nails were too long. And that is an indication of steroid use.
Oh, she on the roids. Did you see them nails?
Don't. STFU.
Listen here. So cancel culture, you guys need to understand the difference between an opinion
Yep.
and just blatant disrespect.
Yep.
So yeah, if you know how I can get on the committee, hit them comments section below. Because I got a few. I'm going to... Hear ye. Bring Donald Trump and Trump Jr. Bring them here.
Speaking of gathering people, Bonnetgate happened again. So apparently, and I'm searching for this picture because I think it was a post and delete. Apparently, a doctor's office posted a sign saying no sleeping attire is allowed in the doctor's office, to include house shoes, bonnets, pajamas. Now, why did the doctor's office have to tell you things that your parents and grandparents should have told you? And I know, listen, bonnet people, y'all gonna hate me. I don't care. We remember a time when our grandparents taught us how to leave the house dressed for what event. They showed us what we could and could not wear to church, what we could and could not wear to weddings, what we could and could not wear in certain weather. I'm not saying put on a gown to go to the doctor's office, but you're going to, and this was an OBGYN, you're going out of your house to a professional establishment where doctors reside in a bonnet and slippers. Throw on your little leggings and your Adidas leggings and your little hoodie or your t-shirt and go out the house and go to your appointment.
Yeah. I remember my mother, when I hit them stairs, she's like, that's how you going out the house? And I would glance over myself.
And it wasn't really a question.
Yeah, and I would just go back upstairs, pull some drawers out, try to figure out what would be.
One didn't make it. Let me try.
Yeah, I'm going to go with this one.
Take two.
It's your turn. You up next. Yeah, I know Bonnetgate is going to hate me for this. It's just, I feel like there are just certain things you just don't wear outside.
Bingo.
I would never wear a bonnet outside. And we have a teenager who she presses her luck sometimes. Like, she done took a scarf and now she tried to twisty tie it and put a little bow on it. It's still a scarf.
And we say take it off.
It's still a scarf.
Because we old school. Take it off. You're going out the house. You're going to the store. Listen, run into the mailbox. I don't care. Running, like quick run outs. If you got caught in the middle of something, I think I've gone to the market one time on Thanksgiving because it was about to close.
Yeah.
I had on Crocs and maybe something that I would wear. And I think I had on like house pants. I ran to grab the butter and the king syrup and came on back. I get that. But I'm not going to leave and go to a full appointment or out to dinner and wear stuff that I would wear. Hey, like I don't, and it ain't just bonnets, it's do-rags too. Yeah. I don't think do-rags are outside attire.
I agree.
So, bonnet gate happened again. Y'all listen, babies. Auntie Monique done told y'all. Don't make her tell y'all again.
I think people have become so lax, and it's just accept me as I am, accept me as I come type of situation that now you shouldn't care. Like, and that's another thing. They say you shouldn't care about what other people do. And you're right. I don't care. I'm going to talk about you. I'm going to be like, Anthony, you see that girl over there?
Absolutely.
But I don't like. At the end of the day, what you eat don't make me poop. Ooh, so I really don't care. That. But I am going to talk about you.
I like that. Speaking of talk about it. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to play the clip so you can see it. DL Hughley was on the Breakfast Club. And DL Hughley was talking about his bout. Hey, Tom. We unplugged and all my words got left unplugged. Anyway. He was talking about his bout with COVID. And he had been fighting COVID like for months. Mm-hmm. Like it wasn't like getting over the side effects. Like he just kept testing positive for COVID for months. Mm-hmm. And he was talking about how he had to overcome it. And during that, he said he didn't fear dying. He feared ending it all because he couldn't continue to do this. Now, that was deep because, in our episode, we were talking about how COVID made you feel so lonely, like being in the waiting rooms by yourself and being in the hospital rooms by yourself and people masking up and putting on whole tents to come in and talk to you and not staying long. Like that created a sense of loneliness. Mm-hmm. But the sense of suicide was also another issue that we didn't think about because some people just don't handle that solitude well. But that wasn't the biggest point of the conversation for me. When he was saying that he had suicidal thoughts, he stated that his frat brothers knew, and he paused and said, he said, I was talking to my wife. He was like, well, no, I didn't. I was talking to my frat brothers. My wife will find this out when she sees this interview. And that was tough. Mm-hmm. It was tough because I'm pretty sure she went through it too while he was going through it.
Yeah, you don't know what the other half is dealing with. Like when Anthony was in the hospital, I had to deal with thinking for him and how he may feel with being alone and just in this room and people acting like they don't want to deal with him. And just being alone myself, it was a whole nother piece. Now, granted, it doesn't mean my alone part or my feelings or anything were any better or worse than yours were, but we didn't think about that.
Yeah, we were going through it together. We were both going through something. So for his wife to have to find out he had suicidal thoughts on an interview.
And that his friends
knew. And his friends knew. Like, that brings into question, like who do you tell your secrets to when you're married? Do you go to your friends first or your spouse first? Like, comment below. Like, who's supposed to know that information first? I know my feelings. I know what I think. And I feel it's your spouse because if anything happens to me, if anything goes wrong with me, you left here to deal with all that I left.
Right. I subscribe to this page. I don't like to come off as, oh, woe is me. And so I don't really talk to my friends about this is what's going on. This is how I'm feeling. Unfortunately, Anthony is my perfect little punching bag because he gets all of it. He gets the good, the bad, the ugly. He gets the questions. Like, you just don't understand what I put him through. We were around a group of friends and they was like, yo, is she always like this? Oh, yeah.
People are so shocked. Yeah. But like what y'all saw at the beginning of this episode is who she is as a person.
Like I was born without a filter, and when I die and I go up to the pearly gates, and I hope they let me in, because I'm going to march outside. Please let me in,
please, Jesus, sir.
I really hope that God sits down and has a couple of moments with me, because they said moments are like eternity. So I just want to get on his calendar, like, hey, what's Jesus doing on Tuesday?
Remember the Lord Nas X when he slid down from heaven on the pole? They're gonna send her down on the pole. We done had enough of her stuff.
Because I got some questions, but God made me in his image.
He did.
He
sure
made me
did.
just like him.
Made you just like
eyes
him.
and ears and thoughts and cares. So yeah. So I'm just like God when you really think about it. Hey guys, it's me, God.
Eyes and ears and thoughts
and tears.
Wow. All right. Well, so I'm on the line of tears because I cried. I watched the Mike Tyson documentary, and Makia didn't catch it with me, and it wasn't a lot of information. I was telling her, like, I don't go watch it. It's on Hulu. Yep.
Hope so.
They're not sponsoring this, but it's on Hulu. And I probably got it over like, yep, you was right. And it wasn't information I didn't know, but there were a few things that came out that I didn't think about this way. And one thing I didn't know. The one thing I didn't know was Mike Tyson confirmed that he was snatched as a young kid and molested. He didn't go into details. He said he was walking down the street. A man snatched him into an abandoned building and he was molested. Now, take it for how you want, because in the documentary, he ended the interview. Like, he said that. He was like, and I was molested. And he told the guy that was interviewing him, and on this note, you got to go. Because I think he didn't want to rehash that situation on camera. But another thing that came out was that, well, let me stick to that first, because after he did that, he has a podcast called Hot Boxing with Mike. And on that, I'm knocking this light all over. And on that podcast,
Okay.
And on Hot Boxing with Mike, he had Kevin Gates on, who also confirmed that he was molested as a child and didn't go into depth about it. First thing I want to say is I commend you brothers for having the strength, courage to go forward on television or on a broadcast that'll be heard by millions and tell the truth about your life. I commend you, because it takes a certain level of strength to actually, for a man especially, to admit something like that and deal with it. But the other thing that came out was Desiree Washington. It was almost like the OJ thing, where everybody was on a different side. He did it, he didn't do it. I believe him, I don't believe him. But the Desiree Washington thing, again, no victim shaming, but I'm going to tell my side and what I think, in my opinion, because it's mine. One of the contestants that was in the pageant with her said she overheard her say Desiree is her. Did you see all the money that Robin Givens got out of him? This is before everything happened. And for the backstory, Mike he went to the Indiana Black Expo. It was a big thing back in the day. Never heard of it. I was too young. And everybody was there, and they did the Miss Black USA thing, the pageant and all that stuff. And he was in the room while they were rehearsing, while he was being recorded while they were rehearsing. That's a part that I think makes a difference. A lot of people do stuff in the dark. I don't know how many people that are blatant predators on camera.
Donald Trump was.
Oh, Jesus. Technically, he didn't know the mic was hot. He thought he was off camera.
True.
So they were recording Mike interact with all the girls at the pageant that were rehearsing, and they didn't catch. Like, he was hugging on them and acting like he was dancing and stuff like that. Didn't look creepy for the time. Things have changed, but it didn't look creepy for the time. It's just like he was in there flirting with the girls. They didn't catch Desiree Washington's comment, though. So she went to his room, and you all know the story. She went to his room late. She came out later and said he sexually assaulted her. He went to jail. I didn't know she sued him in a civil suit afterwards. Again, it's a tough thing for me when people get money from an act that they didn't want to happen, or when they seek money as a Band-Aid for something, for being a victim of something. It's weird to me. especially when you hear the comment from the person who said she overheard her say, look at all the money she got from Robin Givens got from him. That's tough for me. So that documentary was a pretty good documentary. It makes you think, like, I feel bad for the guys that go to the kickback and take weed and everybody's smoking and drinking and then they hook up with somebody because you don't know what's going to come of that at this juncture.
That's why you shouldn't participate. Like, if I were a celebrity, I would carry myself completely differently.
How?
I wouldn't be in a large group drinking and smoking to give anybody the entrance to say this is what happened and things like that. You just have to carry yourself differently because people keep getting caught up in situations and you have to start navigating yourself around it to not allow anybody the opportunity to be able to say this happened. Because if I'm at a party and I'm completely sober, you can't say my kid was drunk and grab somebody by the bush.
That's fair. That's fair. But most of the accusations that come out behind closed doors. So are you not supposed to have physical interactions with people now?
I just
because
feel like, especially with cancel culture and with different things going on and seeing what different celebrities are going through, I just would not put myself in a position. And if that means I'm just not at kickbacks or different situations, I just wouldn't be there. There are a lot. You've never heard of the Jonas Brothers getting caught up in anything. It's also...
They were virgins.
But I mean, even now that they're married and some of them have kids, you've never heard of like a Shawn Mendes or even a Justin Bieber. You've never heard of him in a situation where it could have violated somebody. So I just feel like you have to carry yourself differently with celebrity status, or when you come into money, that type of status. You just have to act and carry yourself differently to keep yourself out of these types of situations.
That's fair. I just don't know how you... if you're a single celebrity, I don't know how you date.
Now, dating is something different, but I'm just saying, just me personally, I would not be in a party or a situation where they could say, oh, she was high or she was drunk or she was da 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 da. It's just like you can't walk down the street like normal anymore. You can't just go outside.
That's tough.
It's just it just comes with the territory.
It does.
Just
it's
like
still tough.
Having a regular life just don't come with billions of dollars behind it. Hey, you gotta pick your poison.
That's fair. That's fair.
So, do you have a rant for us today?
I don't know. I think I'll use my rant time to close out on with my thoughts on the Sha'Carri Richardson situation. For those of you who don't know, Sha'Carri Richardson tested positive for marijuana, and she is disqualified from running in the 100-meter dash in the Olympics because of that test. And there's a lot of people saying she should have known better. And I can't agree with that because of the state of our world. And what I mean by that is there are only 5 states in the United States where marijuana is fully legal. That's Idaho, Wyoming, Kansas, South Carolina, and Tennessee. There are 18 states where it's fully legal, both recreational and medical use. So the other states have a mixed bag. Medical marijuana is big business, so we're going to make that okay. Recreational marijuana is becoming big business. We're making that okay. And my issue with this is it's okay for police officers to test positive for marijuana within the last 3 years, and they can still get a gun and go out here and protect and serve. It's okay for football players to use marijuana for whatever reason, and NBA players to use marijuana for whatever reason, because these are 2 things that are generating big money. I feel like we need to catch up because that's confusing. The backstory that came out isn't even my point of contention for this. She lost her mom. Her way of coping, which is the way that's being blasted over everything, was to smoke a little weed. Calmed her nerves. She was dealing with trauma. She was dealing with not having her mental health destroyed. And she smoked weed. I'm not for nor against it. That's her choice. But what I am against is you using the rules against certain people. I did a little digging because, that's what I do. And in 1998, Olympic snowboarder Regabalati had his gold medal stripped away after testing positive for marijuana. He was stripped of his gold medal, but later had it returned because THC was not on the ban list. Now, in 1998, marijuana was completely illegal everywhere. All I ask is that the rules apply fairly to everybody. That's it. I feel bad for this young lady because this was a great opportunity for her. It's rumors that she may be able to run in a relay. I hope so. I also hope that other black athletes don't decide to boycott, because I feel this is a prime example for them and a prime opportunity for them to get here, win, and make a statement on those stands in front of millions and millions of viewers. So don't allow this to discourage you from being the best at what you do and also using your voice on your platform. That's all I got.
So I'm going to play devil's advocate with that.
Oh.
Love Sha'Carri Richardson. I do not like what is happening to her. However, it is no shock, surprise, secret, or anything else that black people, black athletes are always treated differently than our white counterparts. It is what it is. I understand the young lady was dealing with trauma. And again, I'm not saying that this is right.
That's your opinion. It's fine. I get you.
But just like with celebrities, you just have to carry yourself differently. You cannot give them any reason to disqualify you, discount you, get rid of you, not allow you to. We just can't do that. I totally get the lady is human. I totally get that. I totally get she was dealing with trauma. I don't know what I would be dealing with if my mother had passed away. But knowing that you're trying to qualify for something and be a part of something has to make you take a step back and think, if this is how you want to go, if this is what you want to proceed in doing, you have to carry yourself differently, because they are looking for any reason to discount, disqualify, and not include us.
And go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm not going to cut you off. Go ahead.
I'm done.
I can agree, because it's what you said. Everybody's human, but we're asked to be superhuman and perfect. We can only be in the room and apart if we're perfect. That's just unfair.
And I totally agree. It's unfair. But just like there was a gymnast who did a move that she was the only one that could pull off this move, and they demoted points from her because they said it was illegal, not illegal. It was unsafe or something like that. Any opportunity they can find to get rid of or remove or strip down or whatever certain people, they're going to do it. So we just have to go into it with a mindset, and then I'm going to get off my soapbox, that we're going to be treated differently. It's not fair, but it is what it is.
It is what it is, but in Olympics, they're making money off black athletes, white athletes, whatever athletes. So Ryan Lochte can go out here and smoke weed, and he's not stripped of any opportunity. Michael Phelps can go smoke weed and he loses absolutely nothing. But he was big money. They didn't see Sha'Carri. Even if take race, put it on the back burner. The amount of hype behind Sha'Carri Richardson in this moment was money for them.
It was.
So you throw the money away because she's black?
Yes, they will. And yes, they are.
It's tough, man. That's tough.
It's the reality of the situation.
That's tough.
And we just have to start realizing that we have to navigate it differently.
We just got to be perfect, right?
I'm not saying perfect, but you have to make
don't make a mistake.
You have to try your best to alleviate those. Again, not saying that it's right, but it is what it is. We see it play out every day. It's not right, and I don't know if it will change. So now I have a question. Is it me, or have you not subscribed to this video yet? Is it me, or is wait staff different now? And I know the restaurants were closed. I've seen a lot of places that are saying that they are hiring. But every restaurant that we have gone to, I have taken some issue. We went to the Olive Garden one day, and the waiter just kept forgetting things. And he even admitted to us, he was like, yeah, I messed up real bad yesterday. We were like, really? That's what you want to stop by our table and tell us? I took our middle baby girl on a date. We went to the Cheesecake Factory. And the whole mall lost power, and the Cheesecake Factory was attached to a mall. And I'm watching our waiter. She's bringing out bread and drinks and appetizers for everybody, and she just keeps walking past our table, and I'm timing it. So 10 minutes in, I decided I'm going to get over on these people. So I was like, ma'am, I still haven't gotten my water. And she was like, yeah, I don't know how long the power is going to be down. I said, that's cool and all, but can I get my water and can I get some bread? Because I figure I'm hungry at this point. I'm going to eat some bread on you guys. So she brings the bread, and we're eating and stuff, and she never comes back. So I have to hail her down and tell her, yeah, we're going to go ahead and leave. And she was like, yeah, I'm not going to charge you. My daughter got a lemonade. I'm not going to charge you for the lemonade or bread. I said, I know you're not. We then went to Bonefish Grill, which was not that far away. So I figured we had our appetizer. Now we're going to have our meal. Lil Honey comes to our table, and he's taking our order, and he's got one dangly earring in one ear. He's got a gun in the other ear. And I was like, I am so tickled by this. Again, I'm like, hey, can I get my water? Hey, can I get the lemons for my water? Same thing at Olive Garden. I'm sorry. Olive Garden and a Cheesecake Factory. Mm-hmm. Can I get my lemons? Can I? So, comment down below. Are you having similar situations at the restaurants that you are going to? Like this video. And this week's hashtag is, where my lemons at, yo? Like, I just don't understand what's going on.
It's the age of the servers. The servers have gotten younger, and they don't care about us.
All you're trying to say is that they don't really care about us.
They don't. They don't care about my water.
I just want my water.
They don't care about my marinara sauce. They're supposed to go on my breadsticks. Nothing. They don't care about us.
But let you test positive for marijuana.
Give it to them now. Now, this is a good episode. I enjoyed this. Little back and forth, little friction, devil's advocate. This is part of my life.
You know, they say friction makes fire.
And with that, I am Anthony.
And I hope you like this video, because I'm Makia.
Thanks for stopping by to talk to me today.
Bye.
Peace.